You're watching WDAY News. The news starts now.
Savannah was the victim of a cruel and vicious act of depravity.
A community mourns the loss of a young, expectant mother, and the two accused make their first court appearance.
Conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, false information.
Good evening, everyone. We have another team of reporters following the latest developments in the case of Savannah Found Graywind and her baby, Hazley Joe.
Sarah Rudlang covering the court appearance. Bail is now set. Angeline McCall talks with searchers and why they chose a farmstead where suspicious items were found. And a vigil for Savannah is about to begin in North Fargo. Ty Philly is there. But we begin tonight with new charges today against the two people accused. This after Savannah Graywind's body was found in the Red River.
And with that, we're getting our first insight into what the suspects told police. WDAY 6 reporter Sarah Rudlang was at the first court appearance for both William Hain, that is, and Brooke Cruz this afternoon. She joins us live at the courthouse with what they claimed happened. Sarah?
Dana, Kirsten, for the first time today, we're hearing very different stories from William Hain and Brooke Cruz on just what happened the day Savannah disappeared. Now, court documents today show William Hain told police he came home from work the day Savannah went missing. There, he found Brooke Cruz cleaning up blood in their bathroom. She then presented him with the infant, saying, quote, "This is our baby. This is our family." Meanwhile, Cruz told police she arranged to have Savannah Graywind come to their apartment, but she says she instructed Savannah on how to self-induce childbirth by breaking her own water. Then telling police Savannah left her apartment, returning 2 days later in the middle of the night to give Cruz her infant child. That information comes from charging documents released today. Brooke Lynn Cruz and William Henry Hain are now charged with conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, and providing false information to law enforcement. The conspiracy to commit murder charges carry the possibility of a life sentence. Today, Fargo Police Chief Dave Todd says their mission now is to pursue justice for this terrible crime.
As law enforcement, through our investigative efforts, we will continue to pursue justice for Savannah. Savannah was the victim of a cruel and vicious act of depravity.
Bail is set for both Hain and Cruz at $2 million cash. They're not expected to be back in court for another month. Reporting live, Sarah Rudlang, WDAY 6 News.
Federal charges are still a possibility at this point, which could mean the possibility of a death sentence for the suspects. Cass County State's Attorney Birch Burdick has not ruled out the possibility of the U.S. Attorney pressing charges. Investigators today also stated besides local and state authorities, federal agencies are involved in this case. Fargo's U.S. Attorney could not be reached for comment. Volunteers played a key role in searching and helping in this case.
They say they spent hours over 2 days searching every inch of the property near where Savannah's body was found in the Red River, and they noticed some suspicious items and called police. WDAY 6 reporter Angeline McCall joins us live to explain what drew them to that area. Angeline?
Dana, Kirsten, this is where investigators were collecting evidence all day. As you can see behind me, the crime tape is still up, and the road I'm facing that was previously blocked off is now open. Now, to give you some perspective, we're in Clay County across the river from Harwood. The first searcher said she came here after a medium described the property, and this farmstead met that description. And once she came here, she called in for more help after finding some disturbed grass. Lauren Hadelstad helped in her first search party late Saturday night.
And I just got this urge, just need to go and search.
But she didn't expect the darkness that would surround her as she stepped onto an abandoned farmstead in Clay County.
Heavy, heavy feeling. It really is unexplainable on how to explain it. Just we knew something at one point or another did happen out there.
Her team of 6 searched for over 2 hours late Saturday night until 1 a.m. Then again on Sunday, calling in suspicious items that would lead police to treat this farmstead as a possible crime scene.
There was just something wrong out there. It just felt painful and scary, and just something was there. just what we weren't sure what.
She wouldn't go into detail about what they saw during their search because she doesn't want to jeopardize the investigation. She did call the tip line, though. She says her heart dropped when she learned kayakers discovered Savannah Graywin's body in the water just yards from where they were.
So I do feel relief that we all followed our guts and kind of got them originally out there. But at the same time, coming as a mother, I feel guilty that maybe we didn't look hard enough, even though that night.
A search and discovery thanks to Lauren and others who put their all in bringing Savannah home. Lauren describes this farmstead as really run down with a lot of brush and a lot of tall grass as well. They say it's really difficult to get to some areas of the river from this property. Reporting live, Angela McCall, WDAY 6 News.
The BCA spent the entire day collecting evidence and investigating that farmstead. According to the Clay County Sheriff's Office, BCA searched the river on both the North Dakota and Minnesota sides, along with the property, but not any surrounding fields. 5 people from the BCA collected evidence. 3 came from Bemidji, where the evidence will be reviewed. The team began at 10 o'clock this morning after deciding they wanted to go through the scene as thoroughly as possible in the daylight. The heartbreaking discovery of Savannah's body has many gathering in support and remembrance tonight.
WDAY 6 reporter Ty Philly joins us live from the site of an upcoming gathering with how people can support Graywin's family. Ty?
Dana, Kirsten, I'm here at Mickelson Field where we are told later this evening dozens and dozens of brokenhearted are expected to gather both in prayer as well as in healing. We're told a drum group from the White Earth community is expected to arrive within the hour to play prayer and healing songs. Vigil goers are also encouraged to install red bulbs for their front porch lights. The light represents support for Savannah and her family. Good Bulb, a local lighting company, says it has 1,000 red bulbs ready, with proceeds completely going to fund for the family.
I couldn't imagine. It's such an unthinkable tragedy. And it's all we can do to support our community and show support for the family.
Now, there will be several other vigils across the state tonight, including one at 8 at the Capitol building. There will also be another in Belcourt being hosted at the Turtle Mountain Community High School football field. That one is also at 8. All vigil goers are being asked to wear red in support of Savannah. Reporting live, Ty Philly, WDAY 6 News.
The community can help support the daughter of Savannah Graywind and Ashton Matheny. Family created a U.S. bank account in the name of the child, Hazley Joe. In the meantime, family and friends of Savannah are warning the public to be careful of fake fundraising sites seeking donations. The U.S. bank account is the only fundraising source that is approved by the family. To weather tonight, and could tomorrow be another day like today?
Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler has a first look at our forecast.
You know, it is that time of year where you start thinking that way. I mean, it is the tail end of August. You wonder how many of these warm, sunny days we have left. Well, I have good news. We've got a great day coming our way tomorrow, but there are some key changes coming up in the forecast. It's been warm today. It's been well into the 80s, but the air is dry. So tonight, things will cool down nicely. 60s after dark, 50s overnight. Tomorrow, back to the 80s. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up.
Up next tonight on WDAY 6 News, the search for a missing jet skier in Otter Tail County. The tools law enforcement are using in the search.
And how West Fargo's newest school is preparing for its first day of classes tomorrow. One of the stories you will see new tonight at 10.
This is Kevin Wildman. Coming up,
I absolutely love my job. I mean, I've had great people to work with.
after 41 years on the job, a longtime Cass County deputy decides to call it quits.
The Otter Tail County Sheriff's Department is asking people on West Battle Lake for help in finding a missing jet skier. The Sheriff's Department says Peter Attenborough, a native of Nigeria, went missing at 6 o'clock Saturday night. These are pictures from today's search. They've used a plane, cadaver dogs, and sonar. Family says Attenborough was on a jet ski, but the jet ski was found floating and unattended. The Sheriff's Department dive team and Water Patrol continue searching.
Tomorrow, more than 10,000 West Fargo students will be off for their first day of school. Before students can go back, school officials have to get their buildings ready. This year, there will be an additional school to hold more students. Brooks Harbor Elementary School is debuting, and even though there is still a little more groundwork to do, officials say it will be ready in time. School officials say no matter how many years go by, the first day of school is never boring.
It's always exciting, regardless of how long you've been in the business, to see the excitement of the children. Parents also are excited. The children are back at school. So it never changes, just always an exciting day.
School officials say they don't know the exact enrollment of West Fargo, but they do expect another increase. Back to weather tonight, and we are really having some gorgeous end of summer weather.
And we are hoping it continues, John.
I've got a pretty good looking forecast locally, but there are some changes upcoming. We'll also take a look at that mess down in Houston and the surrounding area. That's all next in weather. Good evening. To begin with, a beautiful day today. A few stray clouds up north of Grand Forks. Other than that, it's just sunny. And we've got another beautiful day coming tomorrow. So really, we're in pretty good shape. Some low clouds over Wisconsin, southeast Minnesota. That's some of the weather we had here over the early part of the weekend. That's long gone. Meanwhile, what was Hurricane Harvey, now just a tropical circulation. Circulation is actually back out over the Gulf of Mexico now, but most of the thunderstorm activity is inland right now. Still, the storm could re-strengthen a little. More significantly, though, these storms continue to drop extremely heavy rain in the Houston area, and now those outer bands are spreading across Louisiana and into the rest of the South as well. Here's the track of the storm. Category 4 hurricane Friday night, moved inland and just wobbled and weakened. And it's still wobbling and weakening, and it looks like it'll stray out over the Gulf and then move inland over the next several days. It's still going to be raining. We do think the rains will gradually end in the Houston area, but they probably got about 2 more days of locally and occasionally torrential rainfall, especially in the Houston area and the southwest side. The really heavy rain the next few days will be in East Texas into Louisiana, where some of those areas may be looking at 15 to 25 inches more. That is phenomenal. These are some of the storm totals as of this afternoon. Houston, officially 24 inches of rain since Friday. There's Needville, Sealy, League City, almost 34 inches. Dayton, which is northeast of Houston, has already picked up almost 40 inches of rain. Can you imagine 40 inches of rain in 3 days? We've had from 5 to 11 inches of rain since January 1st, and that includes the melted snow that we had during the winter. So there's a little perspective for you. Yeah, forecast for tonight. No worries, really. Clear and mild with overnight lows dropping all the way down into the 50s after having been in the 80s today. We're headed for about 56 tonight in Fargo-Moorhead, a very light south wind, which may in fact almost go calm at times. Tomorrow, sunny and warm, maybe a degree or 2 warmer than today. 89 Oaks, 88 Valley City, 87 Fargo-Moorhead, 83 Detroit Lakes, 84 Fergus Falls, 85 in Waupun and Breckenridge, and about 89 in Grand Forks. 85 in the Devil's Lake area. Plenty of sunshine once again for tomorrow. Here's the 7-day forecast. Going to stay warm the rest of the week. No chance of rain tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday, maybe like an isolated shower, thunder shower, but the chance of rain is looking very small at any one spot. There will be some scattered showers, thunderstorms on Friday, and another rain chance on the weekend on Sunday. But look at the big cool down that starts on Labor Day. I'll have more on this tonight at 10, but I expect more cool temps next week.
Some incredible perspective. 4 times our yearly rainfall in 36 hours.
And it's not through raining.
That's nuts. All right, thank you, John.
And as John just showed you, Hurricane Harvey hammers Houston. Up next on WDAY, a look at the devastation and why it will get worse before it gets better.
And we'll tell you how many local Red Cross volunteers have headed south to help hurricane victims and what they're asking of you.
Hurricane Harvey, which slammed into the Texas coast this weekend, has weakened to a tropical storm, but not before dropping a devastating 25 inches of rain on Houston in just 36 hours, and more is expected. At least 8 are confirmed dead, and Houston's police chief says he's worried about how many bodies they're going to find. Fast rising water has flooded the city and trapped thousands of homeowners, prompting boat rescues. The deadly storm is expected to move into the Gulf of Mexico with up to 50 total inches of rain in the region by Thursday.
Fargo's Red Cross is getting its feet wet by sending local volunteers to Houston. But first, the Red Cross invites everyone to join them in volunteer training on Wednesday. The Fargo Red Cross has already deployed 19 volunteers to aid in hurricane relief. They're hoping to send hundreds more. Classes start at 1:30 in the afternoon and will go for 2 hours to 3 hours on Wednesday. No medical background check is needed.
So these folks are heading out. They're going to spend 2 weeks in an area that is not their home. Most of them will be sleeping on cots, just like those we're serving.
Anyone is welcome to attend the volunteer training at the Red Cross on 12th Street North. The training is free, and if you do attend, there's no obligation to aid in the hurricane efforts. Up next tonight on WDAY 6 Sports, getting ready. NDSU begins its season this week, hoping to get some answers to some lingering questions.
And later, the Red Hawks help another honor flight take flight. How much money Sunday's honor flight jersey game raised.
The Hardee's Sausage and Egg Biscuit. Stop on over and get 2 of them for $2.50. 2 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuits for just $2.50. Amazing times we live in, folks. Amazing times. Now at Hardee's.
All flooring stores start with a great selection, but at Floor to Ceiling Carpet One, you get more without paying more, like expert consultants, the buying power of over 1,000 stores, the beautiful guarantee. Now during the Get More Flooring sale, save 10 to 50% featuring Tigressa carpets and Invincible H2O waterproof flooring with special financing available. So choose the store that gives you more without paying more. Floor to Ceiling Carpet One, simply beautiful, simply done.
You each drive a Ford pickup, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you a next generation pickup.
Awesome. Let's do this.
The bed is made of high-strength steel, which is less susceptible to punctures than aluminum.
The stronger, the better.
And best of all, this new truck is actually the current Chevy Silverado.
It's the Chevy Summer Drive. Get a total value of $9,600. Plus, current Chevy owners and lessees get an additional $1,500 cash allowance on this Silverado All-Star. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
The Hardee's Sausage and Egg Biscuit. Stop on over and get 2 of them for $2.50. 2 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuits for just $2.50. Amazing times we live in, folks. Amazing times. Now at Hardee's.
The news is brought to you by Ford.
Hi again, everyone. After a month-long fall camp, game preparation has started at NDSU as the Bison get set to welcome Mississippi Valley State on Saturday afternoon. It's been a long camp, made longer without two-a-days, but gave the coaching staff a chance to look at more players. That was Chris Kleiman's biggest concern at the end of last season, finding more depth that could play meaningful reps late in games. And that's the question he hopes to have answered come Saturday afternoon.
We need to worry about us, and so for us, we need to play a lot of guys, regardless of where the game's at in the first quarter, where the game's at in the third quarter. We're going to get the extra offensive lineman in the first quarter. We need to improve as a football team, and that starts with our offense and defensive line. We have a few more bodies that we feel are capable of playing, that we weren't saying, oh boy, there's going to be a significant drop-off this year. Because of the depth, because of being able to redshirt all those players last year, and because the guys just a year growing up in the system.
Kleiman added that Lidgerwood's Jeff Ilias will not play Saturday as he recovers from his MCL strain, and true freshman Spencer Wagee will have his red shirt pulled. In the Sagarin ratings, Mississippi Valley State is 252nd out of 254 teams. More on the Delta Devils tonight at 10. It's also near go time in Grand Forks as UND begins one of its most anticipated seasons in history Thursday night against 25th ranked Utah. This will be the highest ranked team the Fighting Hawks have ever played in Division I, who will start a sophomore at quarterback. Bubba Schweigert has had to pull the red shirts on a couple of players in his secondary, but for his returning guys, they're ready to shock the college football world.
We're all ready to go prove something. Just, you know, everyone's counting us out already, and that's kind of what we figured would be. But within our team and this whole coaching staff and everything, we believe in ourselves, and we believe that's all we need.
We're going to have to play our best game and out-execute them. That'll definitely be the biggest thing, and just, you know, not making any mental mistakes. You got to be perfect. Playing big schools like that are in top 25 in the FBS, you know, they're gonna come ready to play, and I think out-executing them would be the biggest play.
Our huge week of football coverage begins Wednesday night in Salt Lake City. Mark Pearson will be there for reports and highlights. Begin Wednesday night at 10. It's a 6:30 kickoff. The game is not available locally on television. Your only place for highlights, WDAY on Thursday night at 10 o'clock. Should be a good one. It wasn't the best performance in the Vikings starters last night. If you turned it off early, you missed an amazing comeback. Right before the end of the first half, Adam Thielen with one of the better passes from Sam Bradford, but time ran out before the end of the half. The 49ers led 31-24 with under 10 seconds to go. Terrell Newby scores from a yard out. It's 31-30. The Vikings decide to go for two and win it. Taylor Heineke, trying to earn the third quarterback job on the roster, dives in. Former Old Dominion standout with a two-point play. The Vikings win it 32-31. They finish with Miami on Thursday. One of the best to ever play for MSU Moorhead will now be an assistant coach. The school announced today that Jordan Reaver will be on the bench with Chad Walthall this season. Reaver was a first-team All-American in 2015 as he led the Dragons to their first ever appearance in the D2 Elite Eight. Reaver averaged 16 points and 5 assists in 2015. He played pro ball in the Czech Republic last season. He was Chad Walthall's first recruit, guys. Staples guys, they hang together, apparently. They're going to on the bench. Redhawks have a doubleheader tonight. They're now in the wild card lead. Highlights at 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Dom. Still to come, see how summer is hanging on in John's last look.
And the community knocks it out of the ballpark. How much money was raised at the Redhawks Honor Flight Jersey Day?
The markets are brought to you by Farmers Union Insurance.
Some area veterans will soon be getting a letter in the mail telling them they're on the next WDAY honor flight to Washington, D.C.
Almost $10,000 was raised Sunday at the Redhawks Honor Flight Jersey Day. More than $4,000 alone from the Jersey auction after the game. Money was also raised through book sales, a silent auction, tickets, and donations. The next honor flight is November 5th and 6th. There are more than 100 veterans on the waiting list.
John, with a last look at a forecast that's kind of summery.
Yes, it is. Maybe the last one for a while, as I do see some cool temps in the forecast eventually. Tonight, though, nice and mild. Temps dropping into the 60s. Just clear to partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow should be another sunny, warm day. Check it out, warming back up into the 80s tomorrow. 7-day forecast looking pretty nice for the next few days. I do think starting Labor Day next week, looking like a lot of 60s. Not saying that's the end, but it will feel different next week.
Looks like it. Thank you, John.
And that is our news, weather, and sports at 6. From all of us at WDAY, thanks for being with us.
We have more news at 9 on the X, and we'll be back here for WDAY 6 News at 10.